Hey, how are you? Oh, welcome back to Red Shoes Diary, and a very happy New Year's Day to you. I hope that if you not doing anything last night, you didn't do nothing truly stupid. I did pray the night in, the day in, so I figured you got me through this past year, you'll get me through another one, and I hope you did. I hope I got blessed by having a 2025. It's a pretty good year. Can't complain. If I did, ain't nobody listening. I did make a run there yesterday evening. I went and got me, what was it? Them little hostess single chocolate cupcakes, then some coffee cake little deals, some ice cream, potato chips, and pizza. And so, yeah, that was my last night feast, from years ago of being uh, alcohol buzz to getting old and you having the sugar high or sugar buzz, I guess. I figured I'd go out the year, doing well. I told them I was using the first. It lasted all the way till Sunday. The next Monday, I started New Year on my part to do a little better. For the last month or so, I've definitely been putting the food stuff away. It's been a good year eating, is all I tell you. Good last month, anyway. But, look at the memories, look at, 2025, things I got to do. Maybe my wishes for 2026 this year, I am going to try to travel a little more. A couple rides I'd like to do if everything goes well. Uh, didn't get to go to one last year. Had to have some minor surgery stuff, not really big, but cut and done. I decided when it's a bike gathering, guys, old motorcycles, old choppers, what amounts to Hondas, and decided not to had it put when they scheduled it. It was the day I was leaving. When I realized that, I decided not to go. I'm glad I didn't because that next day was a little rough. But hopefully this year everything's will work out good, and I'll get to make it run this year. They moved it to a new place, so I'm interested to check that place out. But other than that, maybe I can do some other riding around, wandering around anyway. And you think about over the year you just have, what all you've done, maybe what you accomplished. This year you will hope you'll accomplish that. Maybe you'll accomplish just a little more also. I just pray to be a little better light. My light ain't as bright. Sometimes think it's under a bushel basket, like it talks about in the Bible. Maybe I don't shine as well as I should. Pray I do better on that. Pray I do better in other things in my life. But you know, I got part of that. I got to be the one to be able to make it happen. The Lord's going to help me, but I got to follow through. Anyway, we got to talk about my sister. Her kids asked about things she remembered about her grandparents, their great grandparents. We used to talk about different ones, like her grandma's. One of them, my grandpa, he liked to fox hunt. So when he went fox hunting, a lot of times he'd be out half the night or all night. Them boys, they'd go camping and stuff and run them dogs all night. So my sisters would come over and stay with my mama. Of course, them nights, used to late nights, that's when they'd have him Elvis Presley. My mama loved her some Elvis Presley. So they'd have some big old thick cut sliced bacon. They'd have popcorn. They'd have different odds and ends. And one sister says, "No wonder it was big on Mama's. I mean, you eat large when you's over with Mama watching Elvis and stuff." And my one Mama, I remember, she's the first person I ever seen had, you got Hershey's chocolate in, old enough to remember, in the can. She had it strawberry. First time I ever seen strawberry quick in a can. And she's like, "I just love strawberry." Mix it with milk. I'm like, "All right." because I knew where she had her stash at. He always talk about the one papa. He always take mineral oil. He had my little bottle there, and he'd hold that bottle and stick his thumb at a little spot on it. He'd eye it and take him a little swig, and he'd eye it again. And when it got there, he said that helped keeping everything moving in him. You didn't have to worry about it that way. But you sort of figure it's sort of like a laxative about what it meant to. So Papa didn't have to worry about straining or hurting himself, I reckon. But still, we different stories about them we grew up with. That how many memories it gives you. And each year as you get older, lots of it, you sometimes the memories dull. Sometimes we forget, and then sometimes they get a little brighter, and that's pretty awesome, But it's still, we sit and talk about things you've seen and laugh about, things that are normal for us, the way we grew up here in the country and rural, and never had no money, nothing to really speak of any type. Grandparents same way. I don't remember none of us ever going hungry. I remember one time my daddy said, "Well, I always figured that if there's a roof always over your head, you had food on the table, and you had clothes on your back, well, you've done pretty good in life." Because he grew up there through part of the Depression stuff, and somebody once asked him about it. He said, "Well, we was all poor. Nobody knew nothing about the Depression. That's something the government talked about, but we didn't. So nobody really had anything. But, they farmed, raised a garden, stuff, done a little hunting, you know, killed their hogs and stuff. I mean, they was doing well. If your bills are paid and you had food on the table and roof over your head, you was doing pretty good. A lot of people, it would shock a lot of people, I think, if they had to go back in time and live like that. Could they survive it, Today, we live in that world where everything's automatic, grab that phone, you don't even go to the grocery store no more. You just look online, I want this, just deliver it, Never get a house, you don't have to interact with nobody, And the further along it's getting with all this AI and stuff, telling you what you want, what you need, people going along with it, or just ask them all the questions. Pretty soon it's sort of a scary thought, because all these kids, I'm wondering how well, if they're busy asking Alexa or Bixby or AI or Chat GPT, well, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to that? They don't have to look for nothing. It's all going to be handed to them. So how are they going to survive afterwards is what I want to know. How are they going to make it work, I wonder. That's just a question. It's not me being mean, folks. I'm not being mean. Just a question. If they don't have critical thinking, what will they do? And there's a lot of people today, I know it's in the medical field, will tell you a lot of the people that's coming in now, they don't have critical thinking. They literally cannot, common sense went out the door a lot of ways. So maybe that's something we were praying for. Common sense to come back. People actually being able to think for themselves without being told all the time exactly how to do stuff. People get creative again and start building and making things of their own, using their own mind, their own designs. Maybe that's something we need to do. Maybe you look at me and say, "Oh man, what are you thinking? That's foolish." But what happens if the grid goes down, folks? What happens if all this technology you have one day, EMF, just whoosh, or EMP, I guess, or EMF, either one, ain't really EMP, I guess, knocks out a bunch of stuff, which, I mean, they're making them, we're supposed to be not affecting them, but it could. Because anything you come up with you think can't be hacked or done, trust me, it can be. And especially since they come up with AI. A lot of these passwords, passcodes, 16-bit and all that stuff that they used to say would take 100 years to crack. People trying to crack them and stuff. Now they can do them. Some of them's doing this in a few hours. All this stuff. So that's a scary thought in a way. But still yet, you know what? I'm not worried about that. My Lord's done there. My Lord's with me. My Lord's going to be there a long time after the rest of us get done. I know where my treasures are. I pray that you do too. Sorry for rambling, but hopefully it's take you back down memory lane. Maybe you'll think about some of the stuff you've done, places you've been. Maybe you remember a time when you was your grandparents. You might have been lucky enough to meet your great grandparents. I wasn't. They done gone before I showed up. But you never know. Maybe those are memories you can keep. Maybe you write them down, pass them on. And maybe there's some lessons in there the young folks, new folks can learn from, you know, about how tough or resilient they was. Or maybe you like me, I remember where, there's a party line and at your house, and with the party line, 2 or 3, 4 people be on it. And half the time, wait, run would tell you who to do, but half the time the little old ladies would pick up the other line just to eavesdrop. That's how they kept the 411 going on back in the day, was the party line. Well, there forever you had one little dial phone that was in one place in the house. I remember when I actually got a big long, changed the phone, put me a big long extension cord out to go in the other bedroom and sit and talk years ago. I thought that was something else, where I rewired and put a wire into mom and dad's room so that they could put a phone beside the bed, wouldn't have to get up, go in there and answer. Then we got the wireless phones, that were cordless. Of course, if you paid attention, if your neighbors had the same phone and you knew what, you got in there and changed the channels, you could find what channel they's running. Well, you could sit and listen to them talk. So, anyway, folks, that's just a walk down memory road. Last year was a great year. Good Lord bless me and my family. I think He's still going to bless us and still be with us. So where we at this new year, folks? I'm done rambling. I apologize. But where we at, whatever's going on in your life, I hope you have an excellent coming year. I hope whatever great things that happened to you this past year, you thank the good Lord for them. Anything that went wrong or whatever, look back over it, learn the lesson from it, and move forward. Just don't make it. If it's some kind of mistake you made, well, don't make it again. Change it. You can do it. I've got faith in you. Anyway, I pray for y'all that you have an excellent coming year. I hope you get to talk to the more friends and family, spend more time, relax a little bit more, and slow down a little bit more. I truly pray you talk to the good Lord a lot more. Read your Bible, folks. Get you on to what's going on around you. Nothing else. Just do your best to remember to talk to Him. Anyway, everybody, I wish each and every one a happy new year. And as always, may the good Lord take a liking to you, not too soon. And never forget, awesome.